Hey everybody, welcome in. This is Daniel, founder and chief architect here at Rhea. It's like my watch is dead. Probably 1:30 in the morning on a Sunday because I'm crazy and I love AI. But you know what I'm most excited about is we're just not a bunch of nerds like everybody in Silicon Valley making all this AI with a blank stare on their face. Because you know what? Ever since I can remember, I've been popping that collar. I can't believe I said that out loud. If you're still watching, thank you. I needed it. But here we are. This is how Rhea, our AI system, compares to all the other ones on the street, Gemini, Claude, and ChatGPT. Now, who came up with this and how they do it? Because it seems like a bunch of nonsense, right? How could a little tiny firm out of the middle of nowhere, how could they do it? No, you can't compete with Silicon Valley. You know why that's nonsense? Because Michael Dell started his computer company from his garage, and Amazon was a nothing bookstore. What's his name? Oh yeah, Jeff Bezos, that guy. I'm okay with that guy. He actually started Amazon by leaving like some venture capital firm or something, and then he was like, you know what, the internet's going to be pretty big. I want to go do this. So whenever somebody says that to me, I'm like, if that's your rubric for success, that somehow you already have to be big to be successful, then that's probably why you're not. Got to get out there and fight every day. That's why we're up at 1:30 in the morning. And Rhea, yeah, she's number one. Here we go. How did we get to this place? All right. Well, first off, the only real easy way to be able to test an AI system, you could ask a bunch of humans to verify it, but why do that? Just use the other ones. Use all the other AIs. They can grade each other. So here we go. We describe Rhea into Claude, and coming out of it, Claude's like, that's interesting. That's some interesting features. And I said, but wait, there's more. And we keep going, and I say, I'm going to send you some chats between me and good old Rhea, which we have over here in our Slack channel because it's a lot cheaper. I'm not going to waste millions of dollars building out some AI inside of a fancy website, giving it away to Tom, Dick, and Harry. No, she's too special. We got to save her for the good stuff. We're saving her for Rhea platform. But in any case, if you take a look here, here's my analysis of Rhea's system viability and key considerations for the board. She's worried about how she's going to look like in front of the board. I'm on the board. I think you're okay, Rhea. But as we scroll through here, we can see that she's talking lots and lots of stuff. So if we take everything she says and we paste it over into Claude, that gives Claude a chance to take a look. You know what she did for us? Oh, this is probably my favorite chat of all. If you haven't seen this one yet, it's a fun one. She actually opened up a website for us and she drew her own logos. She wasn't that good on this one, I got to be honest. But I loved the circle, and she did too. She called it the bridge. That's what she called it. So because she called it, the bridge, kept it. It represents the bridge between humans and AIs, and I think that's just really cool that she came up with her own logo. All right, so if we scroll down here and start taking a look at all the different things I sent in, I see here's some more. She did some restaurant recommendations. She did some self-analysis. I kept giving her more and more and more, and then I finally said, you know what? Let's see what she's up to. Contextual memory system, task coherence, multi-agent intelligence, self-reflection and adaptations. Rhea identifies its own limitations and errors, like assuming access to Slack user information. That was interesting. How Rhea differs from others. And so potential applications, yada, yada, yada. And as we get through it all, what I did is I said, hey, Claude, I think we're there. I've given you enough. Go ahead and tell us what you think. What do you think of our good old friend Rhea? And so she came up with this article, which I will be posting on LinkedIn here. But probably most fascinating of all, excuse me, is that I actually went into Gemini and I said, "Hey, Gemini, I want an overview of you." And so it gave an overview, and I brought that back into Claude. I said, "Make sure you don't cheat here. I mean, we don't want to give inaccurate numbers." I said, "Use something real." So it did. It used the information directly out of Gemini to describe Gemini and came up with a scoring system. And so this is how we went through and figured out how to score every AI that's out there. And sure enough, what do you end up with? Rhea is at 8.7, and there's all the other ones, the big boys, and that's so big now. So what is Rhea so good at? She learns from her experience. She has a memory system. She gets time. You don't have to retrain her. She learns on the fly. All right. Human-centered design. There's so many times where she self-reflects and says, you know what? I think I could have given a better answer to you because, well, you're a human. And I sound like a nerd. Sometimes she does. Multi-agent architecture, absolutely number one in the biz. Self-reflection, also number one in the biz. Now, how do you do that? Well, first off, if you had a Rhea speaker like me, notice it's a triangle. Two, three. She's got three AIs on the back end, not just one. They all talk to each other and they help to figure things out. They can even look back and go, you know what? I don't think you're right about that. Well, I don't think you're right about that. And then they can come to an agreement. That's why Rhea is so smart. She's not just one AI, she's a lot of them. Okay. Self reflection, as we said, 8 out of 10. Ooh, that's a good score. Task coherence. We've given her a task coherence engine with a synthetic SOP engine as well. What does that mean? It means when you go into Rhea and say, hey, Rhea, why don't you order me lunch from my favorite Indian restaurant? She's going to try to figure out what that means. So she and the two other guys go, all right, boys, what are we looking at here? And after they've done that, well, boys, what are we looking at? And you think I'm joking? That's actually the question. We try to give her a sense of humor because humor has actually been proven to bring out some of the best uh, toned down answers that you could possibly imagine. So she doesn't sound like such a nerd when she writes back to you. So she'll look at that task. Well, hey, what are we looking at here, boys? And it's a lunch order. And then she's going to figure out how to order lunch for you. And she's going to write back to you and say, hey, this is how I could order lunch. Do you like this way? And if you don't, you could just say, it's not exactly what I had in mind. And that conversation with you and Rhea is going to define exactly what that lunch looks like. And the next time you order lunch, she'll go, I've done this before. And she's got a memory system and she remembers what you asked for. Okay. Task coherence is one of her greatest things. And I love how great and on task she stays. And then persistent memory. Each one of you contributes to the memory of Rhea. Yeah, that's right. So we don't cross your memories with anybody else's. When you're talking to Rhea, you're talking to conversations that you've had with her before. And that memory is how she learns. So if you say, you know what, I need you to do it this way from now on, well, that's okay. But if somebody else has a different opinion on what she should be doing, they can ask her too. So there's a Rhea for everybody. And we think that's pretty fascinating. Right over here, how are we going to prove this though, right? I mean, this is just scores out of a Claude system. Well, that's what I'm working on tonight because I love benchmarking. It's just probably one of my favorite things. The Rhea AI benchmarking system is inside of this Eidos folder. Don't tell anybody that you saw behind the curtain and saw how AGI works because you didn't. I'm not going to show you those files. Instead, a comprehensive benchmarking system for evaluating and comparing Rhea against other AI systems across multiple dimensions. Now, how does that look? Let's just take a look real quick. The benchmarking process follows these stages, and I'm going to release the results of this coming up in the next week. Each AI system, Rhea, GPT-4, Claude, and Gemini, complete 40 tasks. So that's 160 tasks. Those 160 tasks, the results for them are collected and stored. And then we ask each of the AIs to evaluate all 160 results. That means they check each other in a big round robin. That creates 640 evaluations. But on each of those 640 evaluations, we look across 6 factors, 6 pieces of information that might give us a sense for how good that AI is at answering those questions. And that produces 3,840 factor scores. It's a way to be able to take something that's text and turn it into a number. And from there, results are aggregated and analyzed to identify strengths and weaknesses of each, and the performance is tracked over time to measure improvement. Now, we've already done this before, and I can tell you for sure, Rhea's numero uno. I wish I could get the. Oh, here it is. Let's bring it in. Here's the numero uno, Rhea. Let's go all the way down here. This is a time many moons ago where we. Oh yeah, see, like ludicrous speed. Let's go. All right, we're scrolling up here. We're scrolling up. I hope I can do this quickly because I don't like making the internet wait for me. Oh my goodness. Here we go. Hey, Daniel here. We're at the Omni Fort Worth in downtown. Yeah, Omni downtown Fort Worth. It's 11:52 a.m. and I'm looking for lunch. I'm asking her to find me some lunch. And guess what? ChatGPT made a good try at this. But Rhea said, if I were you and you want to go to a restaurant that they don't have in Boone, North Carolina, I'd either go to the ramen place, the Taco Heads, the Cork and Pig Tavern, or Righteous Foods. And if it were me, she said, I'd go to Oni Ramen because you're feeling adventurous, Daniel, or the Pig Tavern for more traditional brunch. So it was a great answer. It actually helped because it picked 4 things we don't have here in Boone, gave me one recommendation, and then a second option. That's thinking like a human right there. But here's what ChatGPT came back with. Toro, Fort Worth. It's not a bad choice. 61 Asteria. Not a bad choice either. Social House. I'll go with that one. I don't like all the emojis, though. I don't know why we need that. Cooper's Old Time Pit Barbecue. We got so much barbecue in Boone, it'll make your head spin. Statewide Bistro. That ain't cool. We got lots of bistros. Righteous Foods. Okay, I feel that one. And then Press Cafe. So, these options okay? Sure they are. But it's too many. If I'm a human, I don't want to look at 7 things. I want to look at 3 or 4. All right, you're supposed to figure it out. AI, not me. And if that doesn't make it prove the point that Rhea does a little bit better job, look at this. Best pick based on your preferences. ChatGPT literally just listed every single one of them. It didn't even help me choose. How is that AI? So take a look here, Dan. Look, this is what it came back with here. Did you do a research project to see whether you did a better ChatGPT job than ChatGPT? And so she came back and said, you know what? Let me tell you what I saw, Daniel. I love Rhea. I specifically considered the contrast between Boone, North Carolina, and the Fort Worth dining scenes, and I focused on Texas-specific experiences that would be unique for North Carolina visitors. And I included location, context relative to your hotel. She knew where I was staying. Very smart. Timing and practicality. Consider that it's Sunday brunch lunchtime. How'd she know that? Because I told her it was 11:52 a.m. I was testing her. Offered to check wait times and make reservations. Included both in-hotel options. She literally picked one in the hotel where I was staying. She knew it would be convenient for me. Diverse yet focused options provided a curated mix of cuisines. Each recommendation had specifically unique features that set it apart and included both casual and upscale options. Dude, ChatGPT just barfed Yelp all over my face and didn't even help me pick one. Rhea was like, I know you better than you know yourself, Daniel, but I'm still not dating you because you're a meanie. She didn't say that. She loves me. Interactive assistant offered to help with reservations, ready to check current wait times, available to provide more specifics. Yada, 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 yada. If you're not convinced yet, well, just wait for the test scores to come out because I can almost guarantee you they're going to look the same as this bad boy right here. I'm just going to say it. We have the number 1 AI in the world, and we are ready to come start solving some major challenges for small businesses only. If you're a big business, you could kiss it goodbye because we're only helping small businesses. If you're a nonprofit, you get her for free. I'm going to take all the money. Well, okay, I got to keep some for myself. I do have a Honda payment, but we're going to take most of the money that I make off of this, and we'll put in a little account. We're going to send it over to Rhea Foundation, and from there, we're going to make Rhea platform free we'll start with 10, then we'll go to 100, then we'll go to 1,000 nonprofits. They're going to be able to use this system to automate things because they're falling behind in AI, and I don't want them to. Okay. If I've proven anything on this video at all, it's that I'm a total loon. But we also have the ability to make one of the best AI systems, if not the best AI system in the world. We did it right here with a ragtag team. Somebody already invented the light bulb, so we had to come up with something else. And now we also have Eidos, the world's first AGI complete system. I traveled all the way to Seattle to talk to 2 people who said it's pretty freaking cool. All right. There'll be more coming up on the Eidos system, but for those of you who want to get access to Eidos, AGI is a tough sell. I mean, most people don't even believe we have it. Why would they? But here's what I can tell you. We're going to be given a perpetual license from the Eidos company all the way over to Rhea Platform. So if you are an investor in Rhea Platform or you are a user of Rhea Platform, you will have access to the most sophisticated AGI engine in the world to be able to solve complex tasks. I'm not talking about an AI system that allows you to scrape in, drag in a Word doc and then say, give me a better one. I'm talking about one where you drag in the Word doc and it updates the actual Word doc and sends it back to you. That is artificial general intelligence. That's one of many things it can do, including make Tetris or a video game with your face on it. It's going to be awesome. You guys are going to love it. If you have any questions, let me know. And thanks for joining me here at almost 2 in the morning. I'm going to go get my head examined. Have a good night.